Hey, if it like YouTube, welcome back to another episode. Thanks for joining me once again. So I'm in the fish room and I've currently got these fixings, plasterboard screws, and I'm in the process of getting the insulation onto the ceiling, and it's going really well. However, I thought 11 sheets was going to be enough, but sadly it isn't. Looking at it, I think I'm probably, I would say maybe 2 sheets short. So, I mean, I've got little bits of scraps, but I don't really want to be putting scraps here, there and everywhere. So I think the best thing to do is to see if I can track down another 2 sheets at a reasonable price and get them installed. But yep, it's looking really good. The scrap pieces that I did have, what I did was the centre brace, I've just packed that completely full with insulation. And I've still got the gable ends to do. And I think I will use this, well, the leftover scraps that I've got for that, I'll use that to finish that. And centre brace is completely packed with insulation. I've just got to tape it all off, all the way around. Right, let's go see if I can get some more insulation. Happy days, I managed to get another 2 sheets of insulation. This time it's Kingspan, worked out to be the cheapest this time around. So let's get this cut and into place. Use this insulation foam, fill in all the gaps. Right, that's all the spray foam done, and what a flipping mess that makes. Fairly expands like, but it's good stuff. So all the big gaps I've sealed up, and I'm just going to go and get my knife and get it all trimmed nicely, especially along the sides here where I'm going to need to put my sheets of wood. The 2 sheets of Kingspan did the job. Worked out really well. Just got to tape up those joints. The centre piece that I used, the extra scraps that I had, I've now taped all that off as well, so that's all ready. And the expanding foam, if it drops off like this piece here, it's best just to leave it to dry and then you can just pick it off. Otherwise, trying to clean that up when it's wet, it's just a nightmare. And I'm going to get some tape and cover all these fixings, cut all this spray foam, get all that trimmed off. There's a fair amount, like. So that'll be the next jobby. So it's all turned out really well. That's the insulation complete. Thank God for that. That was a mission and a half. Right, let's go and get this spray foam all tidied up, so then I can get to work on the OSB boards. Okay, dokie, check this out. It's looking awesome like. So that's all the boarding up now, and I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. However, I'm not a fan of the wood look, so I'm going to go and get some paint. And the paint I'm going to use, it's like destined to be in this fish room. It's called rock salt, and I actually got it for nothing. My mother purchased it a while ago for a room thinking it was just white, but it's got like a little hint of grey in it, which is just going to be perfect for here. It still looks white, but it's not as pure white as obviously pure white is. So that's everything done in here now. All the insulation is done, all the boarding is up. Really happy. Got a few offcuts there left which I can use for shelving, maybe even a tank stand or whatever. Not sure exactly what I'll use it for yet, but I'm sure I'll find something. So next thing to do is I'm going to calc all of the gaps and along the top joint there where it meets the insulation board. So let's go do that right now. Right, let me grab the camera. I'll show you where we're at now. So just finished installing the lights. I've not wired them up obviously, but I've just screwed them and got them in place. Looking good. Low profile LED lights, A rated, so super energy efficient. I will get them wired up later on to give them a test to see how bright they are. I got them really cheap off Amazon, £15 each. They're 4 foot long, so it'll be interesting to see how bright they are. And all the caulking is done, so now we're ready for paint. And here's the paint that I was going to be using. So like I said, got this paint from my mother, free of charge since she didn't want it. It's rock salt, so perfect for a fish room. Right, without further ado, let's get this paint on the walls and get this transformation underway. So I think the white on this walls is just going to make this place absolutely much brighter, and I really don't like the look of this OSB. So, right, let's go. Right, that's the first coat done. It's turned out really nice. What a difference it's made to the room, like it feels way bigger. So the roller went on pretty good. However, I think the next coat I might use a brush. Opted for the big brush, definitely way better. I can get into all the nooks and crannies and get much better coverage. So I'm going to go and crack on with this just now. But you don't have to watch it, because the power of editing, it'll all be done. Just to give them a test. Oh my god. Super bright in here, like. That is awesome. Really good. Cool. Right, so I shall show you where we're at now. Okay, so just temporarily wired in the lights, just because I wanted to see how bright they were, and super bright. And the room, so a couple of coats of paint now, but I'm going to do another coat using silk just to get a little sheen on the walls. I'm not really a big fan of the matte. Other thing I've got to do is cut out the vents, but I'm not even sure if I'm going to do that, because the airflow is kind of coming in and going up over the roof anyway. And in here it's a nice 20 degrees, really comfortable, not too cold, not too hot. And before we put all this insulation on, I remember it was 17 degrees outside one day, the sun was beating down, and inside this fish room was 35 degrees, 35, 34 degrees, and it was unbearable. I could only stay in here for 5 minutes, and then I just had to get out. It was really unbearable. But now that all this is on, outside is like 22 degrees today, absolutely scorching. Tomorrow's supposed to be 26, so we'll see what like that is. But yeah, super happy with it. It's coming on. Next thing I want to do is also, so this is where the doors slide open to, pretty much in line with this. So I'm going to get some more of this insulation, another 2 sheets, and I've deliberately left a gap here so that I can easily fit the sheets into here, which will then come there, right up. That'll be that insulated, and it still leaves a big enough gap for the doors to slide in and out. And I'll put an extra layer of thermal wrap onto this, which is going to help as well, especially in the winter time. And I'll do the same on that side. And the next thing I've got to do is get the electrics in, and obviously get the floor done. I want the damp proof membrane, liquid damp proof membrane on the floor, and then I'll get my sponge tile things in. Really happy with how this is going. It's like absolutely awesome space. It's 12 feet by 15 feet, and yeah, it's looking good. Really happy. Getting there slowly but surely. So, floor done, get the electric sorted out, and then I've got all of those fish tanks, which some of you might be thinking I'm going to be having all of these small little fish tanks in here. No, the plan is the 4 feet and the 3 feet, I'm going to break them all up and end up using all that glass to make 2 separate frog tanks. So there'll be about 4 feet by 3 feet. Oh man, can you hear that? You hear that? A blooming pigeon. The pigeon's landed on the roof going into the garden to get the seed that I've got out there. Typical. Well, hopefully that wasn't too noisy. So what was I saying? Aye. So for the 4 foot and 3 foot tanks, I'm going to break all them up, get new glass for the base, and make 4 foot by 3 feet frog tanks. And we're going to have one of them is going to go here, and then the other one in this corner. The corner down here, I'm going to have a freezer, not a fridge freezer, just a freezer for all my frozen food. And one day, World's End may end up here when we do get the big upgrade, when Black Angus, the Achilles tongue, needs it. But yeah, that's way down the line. Still a lot of work to do with this place yet. Floor, electrics, insulation on that wall. I think that's pretty much it. And then obviously we've got to get all these stands. So whether I build stands or try and get some metal frame stands for the tanks, figure it out later on. But yep, I think I've bored you enough with this so far. I do apologise for all the time lapse, but when I'm doing DIY, I like to listen to music, and unfortunately YouTube doesn't like my music because it's copyright. So I had to time lapse it so that I can listen to my music plus carry on doing these jobs. So anyway, I'm waffling on now, so thanks for watching. Till the next one, stay liquid. Bye bye.